Hi, second graders. It is Thursday and we are back with our math video for today. We are going to be focusing on bringing all of the coins that we've learned about so far, the penny, the nickel, and the dime, and we are going to be counting a collection of coins using a strategy called counting on, which I remember counting on. That's where we put a number in our head and we keep counting when we're doing addition. So we're going to be doing something similar to that, but we're going to be counting on a coin instead.
And I'm going to be counting while I still wear this turtleneck.
She loves her turtleneck. Likes to stay very warm inside this classroom.
Teach me.
All right, let's do it. Here we go, because I love money. Before we get started, I want you to just pay attention to the fact that on this page, we not only have the front of the coin that we need to be able to recognize, but we also need to see the back of the coin. So I want to go over what the front and the back of those coins look like. And before you even finish today's worksheet, it might be helpful to grab some coins from home and just flip them over back and forth and get yourself familiar with them. So beginning with the penny. I'm noticing that the penny, yes, it is that brown coin, but that doesn't help on a black and white worksheet. So you really need to be able to recognize the fact that with a penny, we have a portrait, a side profile of Abraham Lincoln, and he's facing this direction. On the back of the penny, it tells you that it's worth 1 cent. That's a big clue
hint, yeah.
that it's a penny. And this is the Lincoln Memorial. Really fun fact, Mrs. Grant, if you look really, really carefully, not on this worksheet, but on a real coin, Abraham Lincoln is actually on the back of the coin too. Just really small. So we want to be able to recognize the front and the back of that coin in case your teachers give you a worksheet where they switch the coins.
And if you're someday trying to count change and you scatter the change on the table and some of them are up and some of them are down, you don't want to have to spend the time flipping them all over. You just want to be able to go no matter what side of it's up.
Exactly. Yeah. And this really just takes time and practice. Okay? Let's talk about the nickel one more time. The nickel is a silver coin. Again, it doesn't help that much on a black and white piece of paper. But on the silver coin, we have our friend Thomas Jefferson, also looking like Mrs. Grant in her turtleneck. And on the back, we have a building called the Monticello. You don't need to remember that, but you will notice that it's a big dome shape at the top of the building. Some of my friends think it's the White House.
It's not.
So
that was Thomas Jefferson's house.
Yeah, that's where he lived. So we have his face on the front and his house on the back, okay? And that is worth, of course, 5 cents. Let's talk a little bit about the dime. On the dime, it's another silver coin, and I think the easiest way to remember the dime is that it's the smallest. And I think we have my buddy Roosevelt. Is that correct?
Yes.
We've got my friend Roosevelt on the back, or on the front of the coin.
With a nice haircut, nice and short.
Real trim.
And no turtleneck.
He's not sweating in the classroom.
Nope.
He is real cool. Nope. On the back of the dime, which you can see here and on my little picture over here, there's a torch with like flames coming out of it. And there's also an olive branch and another kind of branch. I forget the story with the branches, but we could just call them branches on the back. So again, spend a few minutes just looking at some coins at home and really trying to memorize which one is which. That's going to be helpful for the worksheet today. All right. Are you ready to learn how to count on with coins?
I would love to.
All right. So you're going to notice that we have coins all in a row, and lucky for you, they are already put in order from the largest value to the smallest, which is the first step in counting a collection of coins, okay? Now, do you see the line below all of the coins?
I see it.
We're going to use that line to count on, but we're going to be writing down what we normally put in our brain.
Heads.
Okay. So the first coin, do you know what it is?
It's a dime.
And it is worth
10 cents.
All right. So for the first coin, I'm just going to write the value. I'm not worried about the cent sign right now. That's just going to waste some of our time. Now, even though the next coin is worth 10 cents, when I'm counting, I don't count 10, 10, 10. I start with 10, but if I add another 10, what do I have?
20.
Exactly. So I'm going to write 10 because it's my first coin, but now I'm going to just continue counting on. So I have 10, 20. Uh-oh, new coin. What is it?
That's a penny, and I know because it says 1 cent.
So if I have 20 plus 1, what am I going to have?
21.
Awesome. All right. Now I know the rest of these are all pennies too, so help me out. What will I count on next?
22.
Good.
23, 24.
Awesome. So my first one is going to be 24 cents. I don't know what happened to the box, but we're going to write 24 cents over here. All right, Mrs. Grant, I want you to have a turn to try the second problem on here.
Okay, so I noticed that this is my buddy, Turtleneck Thomas Jefferson. Just like that's gonna be how I remember it for the rest of my life, and hopefully you, Mrs. Grant, were her darn turtleneck, and now Mr. Thomas Jefferson has a turtleneck, and we look the same.
Do you want a hair tie?
No, I'm good. I'm fine, you guys. Okay, so the nickel is worth 5 cents. So I'm gonna start with a 5.
Yep.
Okay. 5. Okay. Now the next one. I know it can't be a dime because we're going in order, and we started with 5 cents, so that means that the highest number we have is a nickel, worth the most. And I know that this says, I can see that it says 5 cents on the back, and it says Monticello, and this is Thomas Jefferson's house, and
they're the same size.
And they're the same size. So all of those things are pointing to this is a nickel.
Yep.
So if I add 5 plus another 5 cents, that's a doubles fact. It's 10.
Yeah. Good job.
Now here's my friend Abe, Honest Abe Lincoln. He is facing the opposite direction. He's our only president that's facing the right, and I know that he is worth 1 cent. So I'm going to take my 10 and I'm going to add my 1 cent to it to get 11. I know that this is the back of a penny. It also says 1 cent, and I recognize this as the Lincoln Memorial. So 11 plus 1 is 12, and then I have another penny. So 12 plus 1 is 13. So I'm going to write 13, and I'm going to definitely make sure to include my cent sign so I don't think that we're talking about 13 bologna sandwiches.
Oh, I haven't had a bologna sandwich in a long time.
Yeah.
Like probably since 2nd grade.
Yeah. They're not very good.
All right, I do. It's probably why I don't still eat them.
Me either.
I think we should talk about number 3 because number 3 has 3 different coins, and we really need to switch our thinking as we count. I'm noticing that the first 2 coins are dimes.
Yeah.
The third coin is a nickel, and then the last 3 coins are pennies. And so our brain really needs to switch from counting by 10s to counting by 5s and then counting by 1s.
That's a lot of work.
That is a lot of work.
Yeah.
It is, and it takes practice. But let's go slowly together. This is going to be the last one that we do together. I know that that first coin is a dime, so it is worth 10 cents.
Okay.
If I count on another dime, which is worth 10, I'm counting by 10. So 10, 20. But this is where it gets tricky.
Yeah.
Can you help me out? I know this is a nickel, and so I have to switch the way that I count.
Yeah, so I have 20, but I'm not adding another group of 10. I'm adding 5 because the nickel's worth 5. So 20, 25.
Plus 5 is
Plus
25.
5.
Good. Okay.
And now you're switching again, Miss Marquardt.
Whew.
We're switching to a penny,
Switching again.
which is worth 1 cent.
Okay.
So I have 25 cents, and I'm going to add 1 cent. So that gives us...
Must be 26.
Yep.
All right.
And then another penny, and then another penny.
All right.
Yeah. So that gives us 28 cents. Okay.
All right. We gave you a really, really good start to this page. The back of the page looks really similar, and I think there's just one question at the bottom that we should probably talk about before we end our video for today. So if you wouldn't mind erasing,
All right.
you know, I'll do this jazz over here. Make it a little bigger. All right. On the bottom, it says solve, write, or draw to explain. It says Aaron, or Aaron, I'm not sure,
Aaron
has 5 dimes and 2 nickels. How much money does Aaron have? Well, if he has 5 dimes, I could draw a picture by drawing 5 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I'm a pretty good artist, but I really don't have time to be drawing Roosevelt's face in 5 of these coins. Can you think of something that I could put in here to represent a dime?
Yeah, there's 2 things you could do. You could either put a 10 or you could put a D for dime.
Ooh, I like both of those choices. I'm gonna go with a 10.
Cool.
That'll help me count later.
It's a good idea.
So I'm going to put a 10 in all of these. Those are my dimes. And I'm also noticing that I have 2 nickels.
Those
You want
guys
to
are
show
worth-
me what you would do?
They're worth 5.
They're worth 5. Are those the turtleneck ones?
They're the turtleneck.
Those are the
Thomas
turtleneck
Jefferson's. I'm going to draw them a little bigger because nickels are bigger, and I'm going to put a 5 in them because they're worth 5 cents.
Awesome. So I'm not going to give you the answer. I think it's important that we set the problem up for you and you know how to tackle it. I want you to go through and try to count this collection of coins, and then you can put your answer maybe over by Mrs. Grant over there for us to see nice and clearly.
But make sure you do draw the picture the way Ms. Marquardt and I did.
Yeah, I think that's really helpful, and it's going to be really important as we get more and more collections of coins and they get larger. So the last page on the back we're not going to go over because it is super similar to the front, including the last problem. I want you to take your time and do your best, and if you get a little frustrated, that's okay. Counting money is tricky.
Yeah.
And we're going to spend
And you know
some
who's
time.
really good at counting money? Your parents. They do it all the time. So this is definitely a math topic where there's no Common Core, and your parents can help you, and they'll know exactly how to count money with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Have fun.